Nathan For You continues its new season on Comedy Central. Nathan Fielder, the comedian who brought you Dumb Starbucks and Pig Saves Goat, is back with more outlandish ideas to help real small businesses. This is his most ambitious season yet. You gotta see it to believe it. Nathan For You airs on Comedy Central Thursdays at 10, 9 Central, or anytime on the Comedy Central app.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome all peoples. Just peoples. No things. I'm sorry. If you're an anthropomorphic thing who has shown up here, you're not welcome. Maybe that makes me sound small-minded and prejudiced. And maybe sometime in the future, there'll be anthropomorphic things all over the place. Eating in our restaurants and lunch counters. Riding on our city buses. Regretting doing that. Anthropomorphic things, we're not ready for you yet. Paul, that's who I am. What about non-anthropomorphic things? Hard word. Forgot to do my exercises today. Anthropomorphic. Anthony anthropomorphizes. Tell you what, if there is just a regular thing here, not an anthropomorphized one, but just like, what are some things? A stapler, a tire, God damn it, the new way, exercises. So many things. The world is full of so many things. How many things can you name? Go. Apples, ants. Oh, not a thing. They're a living creature. God damn it! Damn it! So stupid. Ants. They made a movie about one of them. But the only way they could get it made is if he was an ant man. Because guess what, audience? Americans don't want to see an ant as a hero. They still want to see human beings bossing the ants around, which we currently are not capable of doing. When you see an ant, like a bunch of ants, just wandering all over the place, and you call down to them, hey, get organized. Let me ask you this. In that situation, have you ever seen even one of the ants go, what? Guys, let's listen to... No, you haven't. All it takes is one... This is my dream, folks. If just one ant would listen to us and use their amazing strength They can carry 50 times their body weight, right? Don't quote me on that. That's the last I heard. I think it's one of those things that it changes depending on who's telling you. They can lift 1,000 times their body weight. 1,000? That's a lot. That's the equivalent of a human being lifting half a ton. What? No. It's not 1 to 1. Ants don't weigh a pound. See if you can picture something more terrifying than a 1 pound ant. I wish that had not come out of my mouth just now. Because it's all I can see. It's a 1 ant, like almost a loaf of bread sized. That's like an ant that will, oh, that music's not helping. He's playing ant music. What if an ant charged at you? Not even the 1 pounder. I'm talking about regular, dumb kitchen ant, right? Weird sadist. This guy gets off on it. I'm saying, like, let's say you're walking outside, you're on the sidewalk. Sometimes you see ants on the sidewalk. I'm sorry, this is a fact of life. Let's say on one square of sidewalk there was 1 ant. And like you approached it and you stopped. And then you saw that ant like back up a little bit and then start booking it at you. Like, even though you're so much bigger than that ant, you'd have to think, should I get out of the way? I feel like this ant means business. And it's true, because ants are the most business-like insect. Tell me I'm wrong. Ants are about getting stuff done. I have never thought or talked this much about ants in my life. And I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for a personal best in this area. There's a lot of areas of my life that need improvement. Ant talk, not one of them. Yeah, how's Paul doing? Has he started talking about ants more than usual? No, same amount. Folks, I'm wearing a headset microphone that hooks over my ear, and I'm starting to worry that I have some sort of abnormal ear issue. Because it's giving me such a problem. Now, I don't like to let the audience in that way, show the seams, peek behind the curtain, what have you, but this is driving me fucking crazy. I'll tell you something, this is the 4th one of these we've done, right? Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, sir. I was talking to my friend, the anthropomorphic piano. And I actually I made a point to come here early tonight to figure out how to put this thing on my head. Guess what? Still didn't do it. It worked great when no one was here. And now there's people here. And now it's like the mic is it jumps onto my face sometimes. I know, it's very sad. What a sad life I lead. Poor me. But I will persevere. I will get beyond this microphone problem. And I say to you, this show will be the same as it always is. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you, frenemies. I know I have some in the audience. I know there's someone here tonight who actually paid money to hate watch this show. What a wonderful world we live in. What an age. It's no different. It was ever thus in the theater, ladies and gentlemen. From the days of painted on beauty marks and handkerchiefs in the sleeves. assholes in powdered wigs were going to judge someone else's play, looking through a lorgnette. He's absolutely dreadful. It was worth the 30 guineas I paid to be here. I'm just gonna ignore the microphone and pretend that it's not even there. That will last 10 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, why are we here? Let me explain. This is a show called... I probably should have said this at the very beginning. This is a show called Spontaneanation with Paul F. Tompkins. I'm the second part. What we do here is we invite a special guest to come join us on the stage. I interview that guest, starting with a blind question submitted by our previous episode's guest. Then I invite some improviser pals to come out, and we make up a story with a location provided by our guest. And it is all scored on piano by that gentleman right there, Mr. Eban Schletter. Even I clapped that time, and I never do. Usually I just wait it out. Silence! Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce you to our special guest, I want you to introduce me to your acceptance of me introducing our improviser pals for the evening. This young lady you have seen in the show Enlightened. You've seen her in the show Married. Come to find out, she was also in the movie I Love You, Man. There was a lot of talk about it backstage. Please welcome to Spontaneanation. Welcome her back, Sarah Burns.
I was in I Love You, Man. I was in the movie.
You were in the movie I Love You, Man.
I was in the movie I Love You, Man,
Yes.
starring Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, and Rashida Jones, and this guy.
Which guy?
Sarah Burns.
Oh, this guy. You were pointing to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Gender neutral.
Gender neutral, isn't that fun now? We can do that.
Yeah, why not?
Girls can say guys and guys can say girls or whatever.
Forget it.
It's not like in our parents' day where everything was very strict.
Man, woman, fuck off. I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. I always get very aggressive when I come out.
You do. You're an aggressive person. Where do you think
that.
this rage comes from?
Well, you know, my mom and dad have been together since like they were 14 and 15 years old, and like they work very well together, but there's a lot of like chemistry, and like to every like moon there's a dark side and like a light side, and I think that's probably what it is. And you know, it's just like it works, but like you learn kind of to cope, and
Right.
yeah, this is what you needed.
Wait, so you had to cope with your mother and father working so well together?
Yeah.
But they were seriously together since they were teenagers?
This is not my line, but like my mom fell on a grenade for the rest of the human race, basically.
Now, if this is not your line, I wonder whose line it could be. Is this what your mother says to people?
No, she doesn't say much anymore. They've been together. What's going on?
I don't know.
I came out here to give you a coin.
I think...
You dropped it.
Thank you. Oh, folks, right before we started, as Evan began his opening strains on the organ, I just threw a bunch of change at the actors backstage.
It's paid work.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Sarah, go sit down.
Okay, bye.
No. No, special chairs. Sarah Burns, ladies and gentlemen. Whom do I wish to introduce next? This gentleman, you have seen him on the Drunk History program. Hold on one second. Who do you think I'm about to bring out here? Who said, oh my God? Don't, come on. Where are you? Show yourself. What? Okay, you said, oh my God. Do you know who I'm about to bring out? Craig. It looks like the cack attackers are out in full force tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Cackowski. His patented slow motion walk.
Thank God that woman actually was expecting me. And not Ryan Gosling or Jack Black.
Which she knows from the drunk history.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling. Oh, yeah, the guy who did Night Before Christmas on Drunk History.
Yeah. Young lady, what is your name? Molly. Craig, Molly is a big fan of yours.
Thank you, Molly. I hope it's everything you hoped for.
Molly, here it is. Drink it in.
Oh.
Drink it in. This is Craig Cackowski. Craig, how have you been since the last time I've seen you?
Good. My dog Shirley is still alive.
Now, on one of your last appearances on the show, you had expressed that Shirley was probably not long for this world.
And I was wrong about that. She's still with us as of 6 p.m. tonight. It's that touch and go.
How old is Shirley?
She's 13.
Okay. Which means... How old does that mean for us?
I think that's about 91 in human years.
For real?
So she's the equivalent of your grandma who passes out in an easy chair around 4 o'clock every day.
Does she walk very slowly, Shirley?
Yes, she does.
What still gets her going, though? Because every dog, if it's like somebody coming to the door or the UPS guy or something like that.
The possibility of a walk. I take my other dog for a walk and she gets so excited she can go for about 100 yards before I'm just dragging her down the street. But the mere idea of a walk, she can't reconcile her actual ability to walk with how excited she is about the idea of a walk.
I think you told me about this before, and it's something like, her body is not in total sync with what's going on. Like maybe the front legs are still pretty young.
Nothing. The limbs are not working together. Yeah, and the brain has very little contact with the limbs. Yeah.
Well, dogs.
The bowels are working great, though.
Good to hear. Craig Cackowski with his signature sign off. The bowels are working great.
I was anticipating being sent away.
No,
I know you too well.
No, your time impeccable as always. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see who yells out, "Oh my God," this time. Oh, I had a feeling. You will recognize this gentleman from the television show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Sure. Also from his role on Homicide, Life on the Street. I wanted to see where my Andre Braugher superfans were. He's also as Craig is my colleague in the Thrilling Adventure Hour. It is always a pleasure. Okay, guys, okay. It is always a pleasure to to welcome this gentleman to the stage. Please say hello to Marc Evan Jackson.
I apologize for not being Andre Braugher.
As do I.
Me too. I'm sorry.
Not gonna apologize for it.
Wow.
Craig has never apologized for
he's
not being
clear on the
Andre
matter.
Braugher.
Yeah.
I am who I am, and I'm not Andre Braugher.
He will not give us closure.
Any dying pets in your home?
No, I'm sorry to report all my animals are very healthy.
You have cats, right?
I do, I have 3.
And you are allergic to cats.
I am. I'm not good at stuff. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I just ate a handful of peanuts. Not feeling so great.
Yeah. Look, when there's jellyfish backstage, you pick up the jellyfish. I don't.
Why are there so many jellyfish backstage?
What?
This is a landlocked theater. Mark, what do you do to counteract the allergicness? Because you're allergic to cats.
I am.
So what do you do about this?
This is very interesting, actually.
God, I hope so.
Nothing at all.
Really, you don't do anything?
No.
So how does it, do you feel the allergy coming out? Does it attack you?
It turns out I think what I'm primarily allergic to is the state of California, which is a problem because I live in the state of California. And there are just different mold. Like it never gets cold here, so nothing dies. No, there are all the pollens and molds and bacteria are around the whole time. This is fascinating. And so yeah, I don't know.
It's a condition they call Californication.
That was the pilot. It took a turn.
It was all about.
Yeah.
It was all about undying molds.
It was mostly about antihistamines. Yeah.
Was there a time when you were a kid, were you more allergic? Did you your throat close up or anything?
No, this is an allergy that I conveniently developed at about age 38. When I moved, several years into living in California. No, it's something that came on later. This is one example of so many things that happen where my wife is like, "You have allergies," and I was like, "I'm 38," and it turned out that she was absolutely right. Keeps happening, but I insist it's random.
Even though it happens in the same place and in the same way.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Just lucky, I guess.
How many cats do you have?
I have 3 cats.
Don't give me their names.
Okay.
Don't pull a Cackowski.
I know, I heard that story.
Now everyone knows my passwords.
Listen, when you're writing Shirley, it's the number 1, not an I.
Yeah. The E is a 3, and the Y is a 4.
Make up some cat names for me.
Scoodlebug. Mm-hmm. Derringer. Mm-hmm. Michael Knight. Jason Bourne. And Puddin. P-U-D-N.
That's 2 bonus cat names.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mark, get out of my sight. Ladies and gentlemen, now you have met our improvisers. And when we return from this break, you will meet. Yes, we're going to take a break.
I just sat down.
That's a good thing to do on a break, isn't it?
I'm with you now.
There you go. I don't think people's mics should be on all the time. When we come back, we'll meet and chat with our special guest when Spontaneanation returns.
Howdy, folks. Sam Elliott here. Probably the second most famous thing about me is my crazy mustache. But the first most famous thing about me, I love live comedy. Put somebody with a microphone in front of a brick wall and I'm one happy son of a gun cowboy guy. That's why I'm excited about Amy Schumer headlining her first HBO comedy special, Amy Schumer Live at the Apollo. Let me tell you something. I'm a fan of Showtime at the Apollo from way back. Just the sound of that siren and the Sandman coming out and sweeping some loser off the stage, while that about makes me pull the beans off the fire and put them on a tin plate and eat them up. That's something good that I'm saying. One of the most inspired comics working today, Amy Schumer, is the creator, star, writer, and executive producer of the Peabody Award and Emmy Award-winning series Inside Amy Schumer, a comedy show that's won 2 different awards. I'm on board. Tell me more. Well, this past summer, Schumer was the writer and starring role in the feature film Trainwreck. That's right, copy. She was the starring role. This is advertising speak. I don't expect you to understand it. Amy Schumer Live at the Apollo was filmed at the Apollo Theater in New York and directed by Chris Rock. Maybe you heard of him. He was in, what was that movie where he goes to heaven and then he comes back as somebody else? Maybe that was a title. Chris Rock goes to heaven and comes back as somebody else. In addition, Amy Schumer Live at the Apollo was written by Amy Schumer and here's a good part. It was executive produced by Mike Berkowitz, Amy Schumer, and Jimmy Miller. Fans of executive production will no doubt have their ears perk up when they hear the names Mike Berkowitz and Jimmy Miller. Shimmy joints, excuse me, I got an allergy. Must be some sagebrush got in my mustache. There's no one named Shimmy. Dang. Schumer joins a long list of stellar comedians who starred in HBO stand-up specials. That list includes Louis C.K., Tracy Morgan, Robin Williams, Ellen DeGeneres, Jerry Seinfeld, George Lopez, and Sarah Silverman. Boy, there's one comedian whose name is not on that list, and with good reason. Amy Schumer Live at the Apollo premieres on Saturday, October 17th at 10 p.m. on HBO, or watch it on HBO Now. Well, gotta hit that dusty trail back to wherever it is I live. Don't forget to enjoy Amy Schumer. She's a comedian.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, keep the applause going for that ad. Folks, it is my great pleasure to bring this gentleman to the stage. I have had a chance to work with him on so many occasions, and it is never anything short of a total delight. I sound mad, but I'm happy. Please welcome to Spontanea Nation, Thomas Lennon.
That's accurate. That is extremely accurate. I brought out the change that you whipped at our feet. I brought, and later I'm going to put it in my Tesla. Just so it sees how the other half lives, you know. It's like the movie Pretty Woman.
Sure.
Know? You whip your change at my feet, and then I take it and show it how a fork works.
Who am I in the Pretty Woman scenario?
You?
Am I Julia Roberts?
No, you're the guy who's like, that is not how a fork works, young lady. Who is that? You help me out? Yeah, that was
Hector Elizondo?
Hector Elizondo.
You know why it was Hector Elizondo? Mm-hmm. You know why?
No, sir.
Because it was a Gary Marshall joint, my friend.
It was a Gary Marshall joint.
I gotta have Hector. Give me Hector. Hector will be the guy who shows how to use the fork.
The original title was That's Not How a Fork Works. It was.
Tom, I have a question for you.
Oh, my goodness gracious, they're right in there.
That's right. Fuck.
There are times, I was just thinking...
Guys... hope everyone enjoyed those
There are
visual gags in the podcast.
there was a
Further incentive to come down to Largo and see the show live, everyone.
There was a brief moment backstage where I just got back from Salzburg. And there was a brief moment backstage where I was just thinking, am I the Salieri to your Mozart?
Well, now, did Salieri have a Tesla?
No, he actually did do way better than Mozart, technically, yes. But then we just forgot.
Did he really? Is that true?
He did, yeah. Well, he was a court composer.
What
The
was
same way that I wrote Herbie Fully Loaded.
For the court.
Yes, for the...
that was Herbie Fully Loaded was commissioned by the president at the time, right?
It was. That was George W. Bush called us on the phone and said,
I'd sure like to see Herbie back.
anthropomorphize that car again. We need more anthropomorphized things. I didn't also anthropomorphize. I didn't warm up.
You didn't do your exercises. Tom, I have a question for you.
Let's do it. It's basically like you're blowing Ant-Man the whole time.
You're saying you're the microphone. It
Yes.
puts you in mind of blowing Ant-Man.
I actually don't know how much clearer I could have been. And I don't mean blowing Paul Rudd, because I've done that, and it's...
You mean the actual Ant-Man?
It takes forever.
He's a big baseball.
How dare you? How dare you? He's a treasure.
I thought that was a fond response.
Okay.
Aww.
There was a question coming up
Yes,
before we did
and
all
here
the
it is.
gags and we threw the change.
We had a good time. Tom, if you could be invisible and go visit a current celebrity's home, who would it be?
Oh!
I cannot think of a better question to ask a weirdo like you.
My wife's in the audience, so if I say Helen Mirren, it gets weird because I've talked about Helen Mirren a lot, and I feel like it's also not accurate. I feel like I want somebody a little more mercurial. I want somebody who's gonna change it up. I want somebody who's gonna do some unexpected things. I would throw out it's a current celebrity right now.
I'm going to open it up to all of history.
To all of history in time.
That's right. From year 0 to the present. Tom, I'll do you one better. Let's go all the way back to that Big Bang.
Okay. So I can, like, different kinds of plankton and...
Absolutely.
Okay, then I'm going to say it's a three-way top. If we can go all the way back.
Sure.
I would like to be in the residence of, I think, a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
In their home?
I guess I'll go chronologically.
Please.
Yeah, in their home. Tyrannosaurus Rex, Caligula. And then, like, Tom Wopat, second year the Duke's So he just knows, like, fuck, this is never gonna stop, and the money's never gonna stop. And Tom fucking Wopat! And I feel like there was a lot of, like, doing curls in front of the mirror and being like, fucking, you're a Duke brother.
Do you think so, though? I feel like exercise, even from then, from the 80s to now, has changed so much.
Sure.
Like, there were machines that just did not exist then. And maybe, like, Tom Wopat, I imagine, like, worked out with Indian clubs.
Yeah.
Medicine ball.
He had a medicine ball. A thing that, like, forced you to do that.
Like, forced your arms back?
Just forced your arms back like little baby wings, yeah.
Like a resistance sort of thing.
Yeah, so that, like, those Duke Boys shirts would get, like, you want to explode those traps and lats and stuff.
Was that was that a meaningful show to you when you were a kid?
It was a super meaningful show to me. I really, there was a lot of, television did a lot of parenting for us. in the 70s. I was very fond of Swanson Salisbury steaks.
Absolutely.
I have no relationship with them. I don't work for them. I'm just saying.
Disclosure.
But if you really love your children, you would leave them in front of sexy television with like discarded meat.
Discarded.
That's been like pressed into the form of like a fake steak.
Right.
And then covered with a brown gravy. And that's what they did. And we would watch people fall in love on Love American Style. And,
oh, sure.
Love Boat.
Love Boat, Fantasy Island.
We would see the Fantasy Island. And certainly the Duke Boys. The Duke Boys, which was, the problems were always quite similar. The problems always, the riverbed was always dry.
Right.
I'm told they're having some problems lately because, of course, the car has a Confederate flag.
Yes.
Or the Rebel War flag, whatever we call it. Battle flag, I guess.
Yes.
So they won't be able to show it again. I feel bad for those guys for the residuals and such. I saw Tom Wopat in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
What?
In Kalamazoo, Michigan. There's a great theater called the Barn Theater. In Kalamazoo, Michigan. You probably know it if you're listening in Kalamazoo, Michigan. You know the Barn. It's a great summer repertory theater. And I got to see a double bill 2 nights in a row of Tom Wopat starring in The Pajama Game.
Sure.
And then the next night he was Brad in Rocky Horror. So you get to see him come out. At the end, everybody comes out in the Frankenfurter outfit. And I remember thinking, wow, Tom Wopat shaved his chest for this.
What? This was 2 nights in a row?
2 nights in a row. Well, this is a repertory. This is summer rep. This is the trotting the boards. This is the real theater.
But how many plays are they rehearsing at the same time?
I think the answer, Paul, is 2. I think the answer is The Pajama Game.
Why not
and
3?
The Rocky Horror Picture
Why
Show.
not 3? Why not 4?
And 12 Angry Men, or you were saying, or something, some sort of palate cleanser, The Glass Menagerie, something.
And he was the gentleman caller.
And he'd be the gentleman caller, obviously, because that would give him sort of a night off. You'd give him a light night. Because gentleman caller comes in deep into the play, and then he could kind of sit and. After the Rocky Horror Picture Show in Kalamazoo, my mother.
I'm sorry. And why were you there?
Who knows?
You.
These are Midwestern problems. If you're from the Midwest, these kind of problems occur, which is you seek out theater wherever you can find it.
Where in the Midwest are you from?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
I'm actually from Oak Park, which is just outside Chicago.
Boo. Boo, Ray Kroc. What? Did you say Ray Kroc?
Ray Kroc also went to my high school. He's the founder of McDonald's.
No, I know who he is.
Yeah, of course. There's like a wall of fame at my high school, and it starts with Ernest Hemingway, and it ends with me. And we both have mustaches at the time.
Sure.
And I like to feel like it sort of maps out the decline of the past 100 years. You know, we went from a farewell to arms and.
This guy,
and
tiny
then
shorts.
Who pooped in the book donation box? And new boot goofing.
So, were you seeking out entertainment? That's what led you to Kalamazoo from Oak Park, Illinois.
Yeah. I might have had a friend I had a friend in the cast.
How old were you at the time?
At the time, I'm probably in the 15 or 16 range.
And were you doing theater yourself?
I'd just dipped my toe. I'd maybe just gotten bitten by the drama bug. Mm-hmm. You know, which, as you know, is tough to shake. Yeah.
Some of us are still trying, bro.
Yeah. No cure yet.
No cure yet for the drama bug.
Or hepatitis C. which I might also have as a result of getting the drama bug and then kissing Pamela Anderson. Story for another day, children.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Well, you open it up to time.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at a T-Rex. Mm-hmm. Caligula, I'm just curious.
He was a crazy dude.
He was a crazy motherfucker. And
a lot of stuff happened.
Was Caligula, how old is Caligula when Caligula's happening? Have you seen the film?
Probably like 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yeah, it was insane.
And he's got a boner, and he's got a pig on his head, and everything's on fire, and he's like,
I've never seen the movie with Malcolm McDowell.
I haven't seen it either.
I've never seen it. My Caligula.
Of course, every child remembers their first Caligula.
Yes. My Caligula will forever be Mr. John Hurt in the miniseries.
Of course.
I, Claudius.
Claudius. Wait.
Oh, Claudius.
Claudius.
I forgot.
I, Claudius. It's a U.
Clavdivs.
It's a fucking U. You put the V in Claudius. I remember my dad was watching I, Claudius one night, and I came in.
Everyone's dad was.
Because I think we saw some bosoms.
I think so, yeah.
I walked in and I thought, what the fuck is happening? There are bosoms on broadcast. We had an antenna.
This isn't Benny Hill. What's going on?
This is not Benny Hill, which I was also glued like this, waiting.
Of course.
Please send the bosom, send the bosom, send the bosom. And then all you get.
Send the bosom.
The problem. There's a formula on Benny Hill, which is the harder you're wishing for naked boobs, the more likely the little old bald man is going to come in.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's what's called a paradox.
And you also knew whenever they were in the studio and it was video, well, they're never going to show naked.
Never.
Women here. No. It's got to be on film.
It's got to be a remote. Yeah. If they're at a windmill, there's some location. Oh, forget it.
Dresses are going to blow off.
Somebody's hanging laundry. Forget it. Anyone's doing any kind of work on a farm.
Sure. John Hurt in I, Claudius,
of course,
the miniseries, which I tried to get my wife to watch. I had very fond memories of it. Like, well, this is a great thing.
Yeah.
And we should watch this.
Yeah.
And
it's not accurate. No.
Yeah. It's very primitive in a way. It's like they just filmed it like it was a play with one microphone, where somebody, like, if somebody was in the towards the back of the set, they were like, just like project, just project. Well, no, it's like it's somebody yelling like all the way back, like, I say to you, Claudius, this shall not stand. Like, why are you yelling at me? We're in the same room.
But I believe they were using all the same sets as Doctor Who, so it was just like
that's right.
It was just a twofer.
Yeah. Why are they in space?
They'd be like, hey, everybody from Doctor Who, come over here and let one boob hang out, and then you're in I, Claudius also.
But I do urge everyone to seek out I, Claudius, the miniseries, because John Hurt, his performance as Caligula, it will remind you so much of Martin Short. It's crazy. It's 1,000% worth it. It's so worth it.
Hey, let's all have an orgy.
Yeah.
Making a horse a senator.
I can't believe I'm having an orgy.
T-Rex, Caligula, and then who was the third one?
Wopat.
Tom Wopat, that's right.
Well, I just think, I threw that out just because it was a name that came to mind, but it's always fun to see people when they're at the peak, where they don't know that the cliff is coming, I guess is what I mean,
Wouldn't it be
I could have said MC Hammer when he had 80 people on staff. Would have been, Hammer used to have, that would have been a great one too.
But don't you think it would also be interesting to see someone who had hit those heights and what they're doing now?
Exactly. Yeah, well, the answer with Wopat is he's playing Brad at Kalamazoo, Michigan.
But how long ago was that?
I was 16,
you were 15,
so I'll be 45 next week, so a long time ago. And side note, and this is just between us, people of the comedy world and smarty pantses, if you ever see Tom Wopat, my mother went up to ask him for an autograph, and he was kind of a dick.
What did he say?
He was just like, ugh. Couldn't be bothered. Yeah.
This is how long after the Dukes of Hazzard?
Quite 12, at least 12
and
decades,
also,
14 years, yeah.
Also with that show, wasn't it that those guys, Tom Wopat and Luke Schneider?
John Schneider. John Schneider was a big star. John Schneider.
I went through both the fictional names.
Yeah. Bo Schneider.
Luke
Schneider. Duke Schneider.
Boss Hog Schneider?
Boss Schneider.
What's his name? Edith Schneider?
Pigpen Schneider? Is that from something else? General Lee Schneider. Well, Schneider was a country music star.
Before Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah. No, not before.
Concurrent.
No. He parlayed his TV success, as some do. For example...
Jack P. Wagner from General Hospital.
I give you...
Thanks, fellow old people.
Let's see how old people are. Jim Nabors.
Wow.
Do you have the Jim Neighbors records?
No, I do not.
They're astonishing.
Not on me.
Of course you have. They're in the car, of course. But the Jim Neighbors album, they're as sincere as a heart attack. They're really, yeah. He does climb every mountain. He does like, yeah.
But he had one of those opposite voices where he would talk.
He got real big. Yeah.
Then he would sing with a beautiful voice.
Yep. And I once made a little bit of a crack about Jim Neighbors singing in front of my in-laws, Ken and Sheila Robertson.
Very important. We have their full names.
I'm just giving their names just fun. And just, for example, the scene when I was like...
What's mine is yours.
I made some... Actually, thanks. I didn't know this was booze.
Sure. Well, why would it be? We're in a theater. So, of course, that's theater water that I'm drinking.
But I said, like... I said something along the lines of like, ugh, can you believe that's Jim Neighbors? Ugh. Cut to this side of the scene. Everybody
just
got really
smoldering
depressed.
resentment.
Everybody got real depressed and mad.
Because they love Jim Neighbors?
Well, yeah. Apparently, just a tiny bit more than me. Yeah.
It sounds like a great deal more than you.
What's not to love? Climb every mountain.
I just want us to go.
Is he still alive?
Jim Neighbors?
Yes.
Jim Neighbors, call in if you're alive. We'll give it, Evan, we'll give it 3 minutes. Jim Neighbors, if you are alive, call the hotline.
What was some live theater that you saw when you were a kid that made a big impression on you?
That's interesting. We saw, we used to go to Second City quite a bit, and you could smoke inside the theater, if you can imagine that. So we would sit in the Second City and smoke cigarettes as like teenagers and watch people improvise. But then I went to the Goodman Theater a lot in Chicago. Chicago's a great theater scene. You can go to the Victory Garden. You could see a different play almost every night of the week in Chicago, basically. And it led me to believe that being a theatrical actor was a viable career, which was completely misleading.
But you would probably see, because I'm sure there was a vibrant community there, so you'd probably see the same people in many of the productions, right?
You did.
Year after
like
year.
For example, I saw one night I saw Chris Farley at Second City doing his "You're Going to Be Living in a Van Down by the River" character, and you could see there were great moments to be seen in Chicago theater, and a lot of the people then went on to become Steve Carell, and a lot of these people. John Belushi actually punched me in the stomach once as a little kid.
Why? Why?
Because I was talking shit. I was talking some bullshit. I was like, Neighbors isn't that good. And he was like, fuck you, the script popped.
Oh, I thought you meant Jim Neighbors.
Yeah. I did. And he wasn't that good.
No, I literally thought he meant Jim Neighbors.
Me too.
I forgot that
there
Neighbors
was a
movie.
John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd movie also called
I
Neighbors.
thought that was a
in
callback.
Which John Belushi plays the straight-laced one.
I remember that was a big deal at the
What?
time. They were going to switch
What?
roles.
I know, right?
They were going to switch roles, and that was
Get
going
off
to be
my
fun.
bus.
It didn't work out, was the answer.
It did not work out.
The answer is play your myth.
But
Know
John-
your myth in movies and then play it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this story where John Belushi punched you in the stomach as a child.
My dad worked at the Art Institute of Chicago for about 40-ish years.
And what was his full name?
My dad? Yeah. It's also my password for everything. So
Surely.
Timothy, but the I is a 1. The O is a 0. So my dad worked at the Art Institute, and they were shooting. Do you remember the movie called Continental Divide?
Yes. It was based on the life, on Mike Royko.
More, please.
Deborah Winger was in it?
No. You're so close. A lady like Deborah Winger whose name
Blair
is
Brown.
Blair Brown was in it. So there was a scene where they were walking around the Art Institute and like in a montage.
Sure.
Just looking at art.
From the French.
Yeah, of course. From the montage, which means to cut together. Yes. So when they filmed at the Art Institute, my dad, because he was in conservation, was often the like sort of advisor of like, don't put the lights that close to this thing. And for example, when they also shot...
Please don't melt our paintings.
Exactly, don't melt our paintings.
Yeah.
When they shot like Ferris Bueller with the grand shot, he was there for that. So he was walking around and Belushi needed to say some things about some paintings. So they introduced him to my dad and they're like, oh, he'll tell you some things to say about the paintings and you can walk around and then say what my dad said to him, and which was cool. And then I heard that my dad had met Belushi. And this is like 1980, 81. Which is really John Belushi. It's hard to describe. There is no equivalent.
It's like a year before he died or something.
There's really no equivalent currently as a thing. And then a couple days later, we went downtown because I would still see Santa Claus. So we were going down to Marshall Fields, and I'm like 11 going to see Santa. To be fair, I think it was more like I would go get his blessing like the Pope. It was not like. I don't think I asked him for stuff.
You were treating him more like he was just a celebrity.
I was treating him like he was the Don.
Right.
More like, this Christmas, let us have a masculine present. But, so we were going down to see Santa Claus, but got off the L and the street was closed down. Like State Street was completely closed and there was cops everywhere and John Belushi was filming on the street now. And we went and sort of stood with the crowd for a couple minutes. And at one point he saw my dad and he said, hey, Tim, my password for everything, Tim, come on over. And the cops let us through. And John Belushi tussled my hair like kind of hard. And he said, hey, do you want to be in this shot? And he punched me in the stomach. Like about this hard. Like enough that it made me like laugh and lose my air and I couldn't talk for a minute. And then we did like pleasantries and stood there for a few minutes and then we left. And then all I could think for a long time was, he fucking offered me to be in that shot. And then it never happened.
Yeah.
I could have been in that shot. As background kid number 9 or something. Yeah.
But it didn't happen because you said no?
No, he was just kidding. He was like, do you want to be in the shot? It's like something you said. Yeah. Whoa. One of my heroes before we.
Yeah, but why not put you? Why didn't he put you? What did it matter?
I would have had to get Taft-Hart lead. It would have been a whole circle jerk that would have taken forever. You know, it's just a fun thing to say to a kid. Hey, you want to be in this shot? Now I do that to children all the time.
Tom Lennon, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, you stay right there. We're going to take a break. During the break, we will ask Tom to suggest a location for our improv. And when we come back, we're going to do that improv. All this and nothing else when Spontaneanation returns.
Oh, yeah. Spontaneanation Live. It's happening Saturday, November 7th at Largo at the Coronet. If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area, why don't you come see this show? These live shows are so much fun. Who do we have this time? We have improvisers Chris Tallman and Gene Villapique, Spontaneanation All-Stars. We were going to have Marc Evan Jackson, but this motherfucker got a part in a movie, and I guess he's too good for us now. Congratulations, Mark. So instead, filling in, we have, what? Another Spontaneanation All-Star? Craig Cackowski? Yeah. We're talking good. We're talking good. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And our special interview guest, Keegan-Michael Key. What? From Key and Peele? The same. Not an impersonator. Not just a coincidental name. We didn't try to trick people. I'm not scouring the phone book looking for people with famous names so I can legally say that these famous names are on the show. This is the actual Keegan-Michael Key from television and film. And as always, there will be exclusive live moments that you don't get to see in the show. Last time, Susanna Hoffs was on the show, and we sang the Rihanna, Kanye West, and Sir Paul McCartney jam 4 or 5 seconds. It was so much fun. A wonderful, touching moment in the show. What are we going to do this time? You'll have to come see the show to find out. There will be a meet and greet after the show. Myself, Eban, usually most or all of the cast is present at that. Come say hi. We'll sign stuff for you. There are posters for sale. The amazing poster that Nathan Diffie makes every month, the latest one, is tremendous. You got to check it out. It's based off the board game Clue, like the cover of the board game Clue. And there's even a non-North American variation, which has, instead of Spontaneanation, it says Spontaneanation Dough. Why did I do that? That cost me extra money to print up because someone will appreciate it. So there you go. Check out those posters online and all of Nathan Diffie's work that he's done for the show. He's an amazing guy, and a little side plug for him. If you need somebody to do graphic design for him, get him to do it because he's good. And of course, free stickers. For tickets, go to paulftompkins.com/live. That is paulftompkins.com/live.
Welcome back to Spontaneanation, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do our little story. Okay. Well, we're gonna do it anyway. We have secured our location from Thomas Lennon. You have met our improvisers. I'm about to reveal the location, but first, just so you know, in our storytelling, we use 3 sound effects to move us about in time. If we're going to go side to side in time, things are happening concurrently. You will hear this cut to noise. Right? Whoosh, we're over there now. That's how you can remember it. If we're going to flash back in time, so let's say someone's having a memory. Let's say we want to discover, how did this come to be? The typical questions that we all have. You'll hear this flash back sound effect. Here we're going backwards. We're going backwards. And it's yellow, so it's slowing things down, going backwards. Tumbling, that confuses things.
What's that?
If we wish to return to the present or go into the future, which is over there, you'll hear this flash forward sound effect. Green means go into the future. Where did that fucking guy go? He's gone? Oh, he's over there. All right.
Is he making edits? What's happening over here?
Now that you know what we're going to do, what are you going to do about it? The answer is nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, I reveal now to you our location, which is Backstage at the Rush concert happening right now at the LA Forum. We take you now to Backstage at the Rush concert happening right now at the LA Forum. Guys, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about the concert tonight?
It's not good. It's not good.
What?
Good. I don't want to go out there. I can't sing. My voice is too low.
Getty, what are you talking about?
Not ready. I'm glad.
Getty's always ready. That's what we're always saying. Well,
Getty gets used. Getty gets brought out like a corpse, like some Weekend at Bernie's guy that pushed around at the beach, and Getty can't do it. Maybe Getty needs a night off. Getty needs a night off.
Hey, Rush, just 2.5 hours till showtime.
No.
Thank you, 2.5.
Can
Hey, we just get our 2.5 hour call?
Yeah.
Good.
Neil.
Then it's time to practice one song.
Neil, where have you been? Getty is freaking out.
I can't do it, Neil.
That's not like you at all, Getty. But that's totally like you, Alex Lifeson.
I know. Usually I'm the guy that freaks out because I'm always nervous about playing.
You're instrument.
My instrument. It's very complex.
I just put the new set list at your feet right now in case you need to remember the names of Rush songs.
Thank you, set list.
We're gonna just play Subdivisions all night because that's.
Okay, let's look.
Subdivision is a pretty good showcase for me, so.
What about trees?
The trees?
The tree. I just call it trees because I'm in the band.
I'm in the band as well, Alex Lights.
I know Neil Peart.
I prefer Peart.
Well, I'm sure I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. Are you sorry, Giddy?
Holy Dinah, can we stop fighting? This is too aggressive.
We've got 2.5 hours before we gotta go oot on stage.
Hey, guys, I got all the stuff from your writer, the contract writer, here in the box here, so I'll just set it out and you can identify it as it goes.
Thanks, Gord. Oh, look, we got our piñata.
We got our bottomless poutine.
Oh, and our health care.
There was one more item there, didn't I?
Our photo of Justin Bieber.
Hey, Gord, I got to ask you.
Yeah, sure.
I think one of the reasons Getty is so upset is we heard rumors that the LA Forum is haunted. And do you see a mysterious shape over there?
Well, I would love to tell you more about that. The fact of the matter is, it's definitely haunted. I don't know if you know of a little band called Aerosmith.
I've heard of them.
But it was a night a lot like tonight. 13 years ago.
Well, not the exact same night, though.
No, it was this exact same night.
It was.
It was this exact same night 13 years ago.
Wow!
Hey, Steven Tyler. Great Aerosmith show out there.
Hey, thank you, Joe Perry.
Aerosmith, this is your 5 minutes that you just came off stage warning.
Thank you, 5 minutes. Hey, Steve. There's that creepy guy. I mean, who is he anyway?
Hey, what's going on, man? Why are you backstage with Aerosmith?
They gave me a clipboard with names on it, and the people, if this is their name, they can come in here to the room where you are, but they have to have a wristband. I'm bleeding from all these holes.
And that's exactly how it happened.
Steven Tyler punched him to death?
No, it's just straight up. He was carrying a long blade.
No, he said stab several times.
Yeah.
Oh, he said stab.
Yeah, he said stab, which is what you do when you stab someone.
Oh, in America, sure.
Yeah, well, they're very violent.
Yeah. The jury was in and out in like a couple of minutes. Mostly because he screamed stab, stab, stab. But some nights...
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
But keep
Alex Lifeson? Yeah.
Put a pin in that thought,
Yeah.
Gordon. How come Steven Tyler never went to jail when he was recording stabbing a guy?
I'm innocent as abba-dubba-dubba.
Oh, yeah.
Sold! So the judge didn't even say not guilty? He said sold.
It was weird.
Like he was at an auction.
I think he was excited because he was given a small hammer. And sometimes, sometimes when you're miming something, you just forget what you're saying, you know?
Americans.
They let him off because he scattered like an old bluesman?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, the court reporter couldn't figure out what he was saying, so everything was invalid.
Yeah.
It was a landmark case, I guess.
The jury was all very gaunt guys with neckerchiefs.
Well, that'd be terrible if the spirit of that security guard was haunting us this night.
With his ghostly clipboard in his hands.
Just hanging out.
Doesn't seem like it is, actually. Oh, wait.
So what if we just we don't go on anymore? We don't do music. We just go to our ranches and we just get out of here.
Geddy Lee!
Ghosts! There are ghosts everywhere.
Geddy Lee, we're Rush! We're a Canadian supergroup! We gotta go out there! Oh, there, excuse me! I'm sorry!
But it's scary out there.
And I don't have a ranch the size as yours, Geddy Lee.
Well, I'm Geddy Lee.
But
Geddy Lee gets the ranch.
In Toronto, this is sort of marginal. These are all big properties, okay?
That's true.
We're talking, these are Toronto dollars, guys. You've all got beautiful mansions compared to me. I'm the guy with the box full of Canadian items.
You should get yourself a mansion, Gord. I mean, there's only 1,000 people in the country. There's plenty of room to spread out. Oat.
Oh, boy, did I have a rough day. Can I get a ghost beer, please? Oh, thank you. No conversation, all right.
Hey. Haven't seen you here in a while.
Yeah, I've been putting in extra hours at the Forum.
Oh, that place is the worst.
You don't have to tell me. Just been washed up band after washed up band. Haunting them. They just have memories of me from when I was actually alive.
Well, who's the latest?
Oh, get this. Rush.
What? I love Rush. Tom Sawyer?
Tom Sawyer and what else, though?
Subdivisions?
Yeah, but once you expend those, what's your third?
What about the trees?
Tree?
No, the trees. Oh. I mean, if you're in the know,
Sure,
you call
I
it
guess.
trees.
No, anyway,
Get you guys a ghost beer? Or how about a ghost craft cocktail? I can't drink. I gotta reenact my death in my ghostly car. Come to think of it, I was drunk at the time, but I gotta get it just right now. It's harder when you're trying.
I'll take another.
Why am I even here?
Geddy, what if we got like an exorcist or something and we finally...
We need to get it.
So you're immediately on board with this?
I'm loving it.
Okay, good.
I'm loving it.
I thought I was gonna have to try to talk you into it.
Geddy Lee loves it.
Guys, we got 2 hours and 25 minutes till the show. Hey, thanks, Gordon. Do you want me to go see if there's an exorcist in the crowd?
Yeah, Gordon, yeah.
But try and find a Canadian one.
Yeah, so we can understand what he's saying.
Go, Gord!
Why don't we give that guy a raise?
Rush, 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 rush.
Oh, I can't wait for this concert to start.
Oh, boy,
Rush.
it's gonna open wide up tonight, that's for darn
I
sure.
hope the Rush concert starts soon.
I hope so, too. I don't want to get caught in traffic on the way home.
All the way back home to Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We probably...
Who's this
I'm
son of
sorry,
a gun?
sorry for being here.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Have a good,
Sorry.
Have a good time.
Sorry.
What a nice guy.
Well,
What a nice guy.
Hey, how you folks doing?
Oh, good. Nice to see you.
we're real good. How are you?
Good. I'm the ghost of former Laker great Wilt Chamberlain.
Whoa! This is exciting.
Oh, boy. What a night.
And I played a lot of my memorable games here in the Forum, and so I haunt this place to this day.
Why? Do you have unfinished business here at the Forum?
That's right. I never won a title. Might have to Google that, but I mean, we only won one title. We had that famous 33-game winning streak in 1972 with me and Jerry West and Gail Goodrich.
You'll forgive me. I don't really follow American basketball too much.
Oh, so you're a Canadian music fan who's here in Los Angeles to see Rush.
That's exactly right, Mr. Wilt Chamberlain's ghost.
Well, pretty big Rush fan myself. Mostly the earlier conceptual stuff. The sidelong 2112 suite that leads with the Temple of Syrinx. Was what I played when I made love to 20,000 ladies.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, I gotta work on my free throw shooting.
Bye, Wilt
Chamberlain's ghost.
What a nice guy.
You know, for a second, I thought we were going to be in trouble because we're exorcists, and I thought he was going to ask us to...
I was worried.
Exorcists?
Oh boy, here we go. Never a night off.
Exorcists?
Okay.
Yeah, hey.
Wow.
Exorcists.
You're looking for exorcists?
Hey, yeah.
We're selling exorcists. Exorcists?
No, I'm looking for exorcist.
Oh boy.
Hey, it's Gord.
Yeah, it's me, Gord.
From Canada.
Yeah, I know.
Look at you. You look fantastic.
Thank you so much. You know, it's probably the healthcare.
It's probably,
It's probably the healthcare. God bless it.
I mean, you got to wait a few
God
months to
bless
get in
it.
to see the doctor, but when you do, it doesn't rip your bank account.
No, I know. It's a good deal. They'll charge you a toonie maybe, but that's about it.
That's right.
God.
You plop your
It's
toonie
good.
down and
Canada.
yeah, they give you a thumber and a toonie and out you go.
Out you go.
You know.
Basket of poutine
Yeah.
and.
You know, I would move it along, but Rush doesn't go on for 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Sure.
So no, but there's we got a thing backstage and it's weird.
Oh, boy.
What is it? It's weird. I hate to trouble you.
Oh, no, I
hate to trouble you.
We're sorry we made you feel that way.
I don't want to trouble you. I don't want to trouble you.
Gord, it's no trouble.
Trouble you.
It's no trouble,
I
Gord.
don't want to trouble
You gotta tell us,
I
Gord.
don't want to trouble
You're making
you.
us
You're here
feel
to have
terrible
fun.
that you're troubled.
Okay, there's a ghost backstage.
A ghost?
Oh,
Ghost
goodness.
backstage. I could get you some laminates if you want to come back and get that ghost. See, tell that ghost. You tell that ghost, get out of here.
Get out of here,
Get out of here.
To take off.
Yeah, take off there, you hoser, huh?
Right? Remember that?
Yeah, and maybe it's more like, hey, take off there, gozer. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's a ghost.
I'll tell you.
Some confusion with the Ghostbusters
confusing.
film.
Can we keep the laminates?
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to give you a different laminate. It's complicated. You're going to get a different laminate, and then when you leave, I have to get the laminate back for sure.
Oh, no, of course, we
No, of
understand.
course
sure.
you can't, because I can't have you parading around.
Sorry we have to hold him for so long.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Gord. I'm sorry.
Let's get you back there right now.
All right,
huh?
sure. Wow, look at this, Marjorie. We're backstage at Rush.
I wish I'd tinkled before I came in here because I'm very excited.
Quick little side note. Don't say anything to Neil Peart or even look at him.
Okay.
Don't even think
What about
about it.
Alex Lifeson?
Oh, Lifeson, go nuts. Go to town.
All right.
If you see Lifeson, which I doubt you will. If you see Alex Lifeson, go to town. He's just folks. He's just folks.
What about Getty? The Getty.
Getty, tread lightly.
Okay. Okay. He's
Okay.
probably having a rough one because he's got 2 hours until showtime.
Yay. This is crunch time.
We're at 2:20.
Oh,
This
he's
is so...
probably all
Oh, yeah, he's in his
doing
head
his
about the show,
artists
right?
within kind of.
Hey, Neil, is it weird? Is it? Oh, now you're mad. I shouldn't have said hi to Neil.
But I'm Canadian mad. So
Oh,
it's
I
not
know,
that
you're
bad.
Canadian, man. Could you say our exorcists are here to get rid of the ghost there? So
Get off my bus. You're
Get off-
exorcist.
yeah,
Oh, hey there, Neil.
Oh, goodness. It's so kind of you to have us in here tonight.
You know, Neil Peart, Toronto, you know.
Oh, God, I feel like you're my son.
Look, so we got this ghost that Steven Tyler stabbed 13 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
I remember that case. Very
I read
controversial
about it.
ruling.
He scatted, walked away scot-free. Yeah.
Well, scatting is a thing.
You'd think that they would have thrown out the case after the judge said sold instead of not guilty.
Sometimes I think you just get a small hammer and you forget.
Oh, no,
You know?
sure. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Neil, I know that we got to get rid of the ghost, but we have 2 hours and 19 minutes till showtime. Do you think you could show them a quick tour of the drum kit back here?
Well, sure.
I mean, if it's no trouble,
No,
we
no, no.
We don't
certainly...
want to put you
I
out
don't want- we
because
don't
you
wanna trouble
have
you.
much time before you go on stage.
Well, let's start with my leftmost, Tom.
Again, we're in no rush because we got two.
We are in rush.
That's a good point.
It's too good. It's too good.
But we got about 2:18 till showtime.
Thank you, 218.
Thank you, Gord.
How do you do it? You live this life.
Yeah, Gord gives us a call about every minute.
Oh, God bless him.
It's really on top of things.
So this Tom is tuned to B flat. So that's for some of the higher notes from some of the more 80s stuff. And this is a Tom that's a little further in.
Hey,
And,
Neil, I'm awful sorry, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to go through all 180 of your drums before the show starts.
I mean, I've done the math, and yeah, you can. But,
Okay.
I mean, I mean, I don't want to trouble you. Sorry, but I'm just, a lot of people come back and they'd like to see the
Gord,
kids.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
if only there was some way to move slightly forward in time. And of course, you got to end on the gong. Back in the 70s, I would light that on fire.
Yeah,
and,
sure. 2112. Yeah, sure.
Hey, Gord, how much time do we have before the show now?
We got 2 hours and 16 minutes. It's weird, Neil.
I really rushed through some of those snares.
I feel like we didn't give a fair amount of time to half of the snares, but that's all right.
You really glossed over the chimes.
Right.
What if we move on and get this ghost out of
Yeah,
here?
so the ghost, can you see him?
Oh, I can't
Usually
see
he's
him.
got an eerie clipboard, his haunting clipboard, but
I see no clipboard in his hand.
sometimes he's doing the mime work and sometimes he doesn't, and you never know.
Ooh. Marjorie, you know what he reminds me of?
Oh, yeah?
He reminds me of that ghost of that Tim Hortons that time.
Yeah, hey, welcome to Tim Hortons. How you doing?
Good. Can I have some Timbits there and a regular?
Yeah, sure. Oh, you want a regular? I gotta throw a new pot on.
Oh.
It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, I got no time. Oh, stabbing! 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 How does this keep happening?
Will the court please record that the defendant said that he was stabbing the victim over and over again, and we also have recording of the victim saying, stabbing, stabbing, you are stabbing me.
If it do please, what we call a Canadian judge.
His Excellency.
His Excellency. If it do please it, the court. First of all, I'd been pulling a double. And you know how it is when you're pulling a double.
Oh, sure.
You know how it is, and
know
you get bleary, and then you think I'll have another. You know what I'll do? I'll have another maple, and I'll go, and I'll just to keep. It becomes a vicious cycle, doesn't it? And then next thing you know, you jump over the glass and you're stabbing somebody to death.
I'm not even typing anymore.
So did you guys get rid of that ghost, or?
We got there a little bit too late.
Oh yeah, he stayed and.
He'd finished his unfinished business and moved on.
Yeah, he passed through the cloud.
He passed through the cloud.
Passed through the cloud, and.
That's an inside baseball term for you. Pass through the cloud means he stopped being a ghost and he was just nothing.
Yeah.
We got about quick heads up.
Yeah, what's that, Gord?
2:14 till show.
Thank you, 2:14.
No. I jumped ahead. About 2:15, really.
Okay, that's all right. Good to know.
No, when it's at 2:14.
A real deuce 15. Good. Yeah, I will do.
God, what a guy.
Well, anyway, this ghost is really kind of hurting my mojo,
No,
He's pacing a lot. He's not making eye contact. He's not threatening. I get it. It's
Yeah,
not
I
good.
got to meticulously tune all my drums and go through the works of Ayn Rand before the show.
Of course you do. Well, I tell you what, you just leave it to us, Neil, and we'll take care of this ghost, okay?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Let's go over and talk to him.
Okay. Wait, which drum is that one again?
Oh, tell her.
It's a timpani.
And you've given them all proper names, isn't that correct?
Yes.
We got 2:14 if you want to hear them.
I wouldn't mind hearing some of the names of the drums.
And that's also my password, so...
Ghost.
Okay, ghost.
Ghost.
Hey, ghost. What's your name, eh?
Ghost. Tell us your name, eh?
Tim,
Tim?
the I is a 1.
What are you, some kind of cyber ghost?
I wish.
Oh.
No, I'm just your average ghost. Been murdered several times.
Several times?
Yeah.
How did that happen? How do you get murdered several times?
I'd really like to hear this story, Tim.
Oh, please don't murder me. Oh, damn it. Stabbing in the midsection. Oh.
That's what you get for bothering Tom Wopat during a production of Big River.
Stabbing? That's a long story.
Well, it's a story we've all heard before. I'm sorry, Tim.
You can touch me?
So I'm an exorcist.
What?
Yeah, we're exorcists. We're trying to help you move on to your next place, you know?
Go through the crowd.
What?
Oh.
Hey. Now, I know we're exorcists and stuff, but that kind of scared me.
That's creepy as hell.
Neil, I think that helps. The drumming gives them power.
Yeah? Go, Neil. Do more mime drumming. It's really helping.
I don't like to actually touch my drums before the show.
No, of course not.
Come on, Neil.
Not for another 2 hours and 13 minutes. Give or take.
On the nose. That was crazy.
I would love for you.
On the nose.
It's not my first Rush show, eh?
I would love for you to exercise me. I'd love to get out of here, but honest to God, if that noise happens again, I'm legit leaving.
Well, look, what's your unfinished business here? Why are you hanging around the LA Forum?
There are 2 names still on the list. They haven't checked in backstage.
What are the names?
Oh, yeah.
One is Jim Neighbors.
Right.
He just died.
Well,
Oh, who's the other one?
some girl named Joy Division.
Well, maybe if we found her. If we helped you find Joy Division, she sounds lovely.
Believe me, I've been looking for Joy my entire ghost life.
You might have to go to heaven to get Jim Neighbors and purgatory to get the guy from Joy Division. Those are Catholic rules.
As long as that weird sound doesn't happen again.
I just hope to God it never happens.
Yeah, because if that happens, I'm
I'll
legit
kill
leaving.
myself. I will end my life.
Come on, Ghost Will Chamberlain.
Please, God, let it be a free throw.
Maybe my patented underhand style will work this time in the afterlife.
Hey, Will, you know me from Backstage.
Sure, you're Rush's roadie, aren't
That's right. I don't want to bug you. I hate to bug you. I don't
It's
want to
okay. I'm here for all eternity as far as I
I don't
know.
want to bug you. It's a lot to ask. You couldn't go into the netherworld and find me Ian Curtis and Jim Neighbors. And, by the way, there's a chance they might be together, I suppose.
Look, I know those guys well from the Playboy Mansion.
So maybe we could tie a rope to you and send you to get them or something, huh?
Sure, like Poltergeist?
Exactly like Poltergeist.
Well, what another beautiful day here in heaven. I love it. It's everything it's cracked up to be. What do you think, Ian?
I don't like it. It's not dark
What?
enough. I don't like it. It's not dark enough.
Wait, who are you?
I forgot. I'm not sure. I thought I was Ian Curtis, but maybe someone else is.
Wait, you're Ian Curtis, but then who are you, little lady?
Are you Carrie Ann from the film Poltergeist?
I'm Carrie Ann from the film Poltergeist.
Oh.
Really, really like Joy
Oh, I wish I'd killed myself before that movie came out. It looked amazing.
Jim Neighbors!
What's going on, Will Chamberlain?
Ian Curtis!
Hey, look, Will.
You can come along too. You're on a guest list at the forum. We need to exercise a ghost so Rush can go on stage.
I just want to check. All 3 of us, right?
Honey, I'm scared.
Look, I'm gonna bring you so you can say your catchphrase, they're here.
Oh, that's okay.
As long as all 3 of us are definitely on.
Are we all definitely on the list?
Look, I'm just so thrown by seeing this adorable little girl.
No, I know.
Treasure.
She's a treasure. Back to the Great Western Forum.
All right, well, this is heaven, but let's go where you want to go.
We call upon these spirits to be here, okay?
Oh, boy.
Oh, who summons me? Who summons me from the great beyond? What's this? Look at this ghost. Hey!
Sorry, this is a restricted area. You gotta have your name on the list. Name, please.
Jim Neighbors.
I'll look, but...
did you say? Jim Neighbors.
Shazam!
I'm afraid it's crossed off.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? I came from heaven.
I feel like I just crossed it off, too.
Why did you
Hang on, that's why pencils got erasers.
Well, now you erased the whole thing.
You're not on the list, I'm afraid.
Wait. I'm Ian Curtis.
Nope.
Wait.
This can't be right. I went back to heaven to get them.
Who are you?
I'm Wilt Chamberlain.
Sorry.
Well, no, he's not even trying to get on the list.
I think there's a solid chance it might be Joy Division +2.
What about like Heather O'Rourke?
Seems like a long shot.
This says Joy Division, and then there's some math.
+2. Well, shit, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? I think the reason you got stabbed so many times is you're a terrible guy with a clipboard. You don't know how things work at all. It's +2. That means it's Joy Division +2 additional people.
I like.
What?
Yeah, so like if someone named Joy Division shows up, +2, you gotta let in their guests.
And there are like 4 guys in Joy Division,
So
so
that's-
you could probably get a couple more.
That's 3 of you.
Weirdly,
Yeah, that's 3 people.
one member of Joy
And
Division.
they're here.
Yeah, come on, man. We're here.
we
Also-
are actually present.
Also, we was here before, so we're back.
Mommy!
Right? Remember?
But there are like 6 of you here right now.
Well, I'm going to be in the show, pal, okay? Hey, Gord, can we get a running time?
We're 204. On the nose.
I better practice my instrument.
I really don't want to go on. I don't want to go on.
I'm going to do my solo from La Via Strangiato.
I'm just gonna be me.
Can I ask you a question? You did say your unfinished business was getting those last people on the list.
It's time, kid. Go to the future. Go through the cloud.
Here, take this Canadian healthcare.
Yeah, go. Have some poutine
And some
the other
poutine.
stuff that we eat.
You got
Hey,
2
kid,
minutes.
This looks like fries with gravy.
here,
delicious.
have this VHS set of The Littlest Hobo.
And if you go right that way, there's a part in a movie for you.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
The John Belushi story. Wired. That's yeah, Wired.
Well, that sure beats a punch to the stomach.
I don't like violence. I'm Canadian.
All right. Anyway, looks like you're all getting in. Don't stay long. Turn out the lights. It's the form. It's not a free-for-all.
All right. Oh, there he goes
so
into
bye.
the light. Look at him go.
Still me. I'm still here. Maybe push it again.
I wonder where he ended up.
I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
He's going now.
Doesn't want to go. He doesn't know it's okay.
going
to
now.
go.
I can hear you. Oh. All right, then. Not a big fan of your music.
Yeah, play that tuba, Alex.
Well, Marjorie,
Oh, boy.
I think that was about the best Rush show I ever seen, eh?
Oh, boy. I mean, we've seen them all, but...
We've seen every single Rush show.
I know.
Exorcists. Exorcists.
Oh, not this guy.
Exorcists.
Hey, sorry, we gave it The Office.
Are you exorcists?
Yeah, we left
Not
it
a,
all.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
wait, what?
Oh, we gave it all. We left it all on the mat.
Not anymore, sorry.
Everybody's got to have a night off.
Except we didn't have one. Well, that's our story.
Sarah Burns. Where can people find you online?
On Instagram.
Find her at Sarah Burns Me on Instagram. She'll do one of those for you. It's October now. It's October 21st. What would you like to promote?
Halloween.
Sure, guys. It's still happening.
I'm getting ready for it. I'm gonna do it right this year, and I'm gonna dress as a tuba.
That's a good costume.
It's been done before, but I'm currently on How to Get Away with Murder.
How to Get Away with Murder. I cannot wait to watch you take off your wig and makeup. Is that a deep cut for How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah, a little bit.
Craig Cackowski. Where can people find you online?
At Cackowski on Twitter. C. Cackowski on Instagram.
That's right.
In answer to your admonishing me to put more pictures on Instagram, I put a picture of a bunch of toilets the other day.
It's true. It was a lot of toilets.
A lot of toilets.
A lot of discarded toilets.
Yes.
That was really strange.
Village, yeah.
Why was that happening?
I don't know.
Okay.
I assume they're probably going into an apartment building or coming out of an apartment building.
They're not going in.
Craig, what would you like to tell the people about? What would you like to promote?
Drunk History is probably a few episodes in at this point.
That's right.
What have you seen already? Maybe
Oh my
you
God.
saw Paul F. Tompkins telling the story of the Moulin Rouge. Maybe you saw Tom Lennon doing the Roswell story. Maybe they mistakenly showed a rerun from season 1 and Sarah Burns was in it. But we're probably about 6 episodes into season 3 of Drunk History.
One of my favorite television shows of all time. Marc Evan Jackson, where can people find you online?
At Marc Evan Jackson on Twitter, MARC.
What would you like to tell the people about?
I would like to tell the people about the Detroit Creativity Project. We are a nonprofit that runs, we teach improv in the public schools in the city of Detroit because, thank you. We're a legit nonprofit, and we have a great mission, and the kids are very cool, and we could use your support. So please check out dcpimprov.org.
They're a legit nonprofit, unlike my nonprofit. Fuck you, poor kids. I think people are starting to catch on. Thomas Lennon! Thomas, where can people find you online?
I'm at Thomas Lennon on Twitter.
And what would you like to tell people about?
Let's see. I do a show on Thursday nights on CBS called The Odd Couple.
Maybe you heard of it?
Which should be back on right as we're speaking.
I would imagine.
Yeah, it would seem like it.
It's a very big hit.
Yeah,
the show did quite well, Tom.
A marginal hit, everybody.
Eban Schletter. You can find him at ebanschletter.com. You should go to ebanschletter.com and you should buy Eban's albums because Eban Schletter is only the best. For myself, I would like to tell you that No You Shut Up Season 4 is starting very soon. If it has not started already, please do watch that on the Fusion channel. If you would like to get caught up, you can watch it on Hulu. You can watch it on YouTube. It is out there. It is a fun show. It's me and it's puppets. It is some silly ass shit. We do these live shows the first Saturday of every month. Please do come back and see us again. I will tell you once we have stopped recording who we have next time, because by the time people hear this show, that will have passed. It's very confusing, but I've never been ahead in my life on anything, so it's very exciting for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Thank you very much to Chris up in the booth. Thank you to Tony in the wings. Thank you to everyone at Earwolf. Thank you to everyone at Largo at the Coronet. Thank you for being with us all the way to the end of the show, which this is. Goodbye forever until next week. This is Paul F. Tompkins saying, Semper in Praesenti! Thank you, everybody! Thank you so much! Thank you for coming out!
Don't forget, Amy Schumer is headlining her first HBO comedy special, Amy Schumer Live at the Apollo. Directed by Chris Rock, written by Amy Schumer, and executive produced by Mike Berkowitz, Amy Schumer, and Jimmy Miller. Amy Schumer Live at the Apollo premieres on Saturday, October 17th at 10 p.m. on HBO, or watch it on HBO Now.
Face it, movie fans, you might have a 96-inch TV, a deluxe Dolby surround sound THX audio guy, a Blu-ray player, a Green-ray player, and all the fixins. But no matter how immersive your home entertainment center is, you'll never know what it's like to be inside the film. Well, on the podcast I Was There Too, featuring me, Matt Gorley, I interview the lucky people who managed to get inside the movie. Not in an inner space sort of shrink-down way, but they're actors who played small roles in iconic scenes from classic movies and TV shows, like Alien, Speed, Clueless, Star Wars movies, and more, in clips like this.
He goes, I drove Harrison Ford on the third Raiders picture, right? Harrison Ford would smoke a bone on the way to the set every day.
Right? And back, yeah, of course he would, yeah.
And one day I go to pick him up at the subway, and he comes out with a saucepan with a lid on it. He goes, I ran out of papers. So he's heated up the dope, you see, in the saucepan and cooked it. So he opens up the saucepan and goes like this, and like just sticks his head in it.
So listen to I Was There Too today on iTunes, Howl, wolfpop.com, or your favorite podcast app. It's the next best thing to troning yourself inside the movie, or last action heroing yourself, or Pleasantville-ing yourself. You know what? Pick your reference. I Was There Too. Catch the action.
This has been an Earwolf production. Executive producers Scott Ockerman, Adam Sachs, Chris Bannon, and Paul F. Tompkins. For more media and content, go to earwolf.com.